good evening and welcome. This is Obi-Wan Pez for Ensimplex Pachinko. And tonight, I had a slight change of plans, which I just updated the info for, so hopefully that came through. I will be playing Astroneer for the first half, and sometime around 11 o'clock, we're going to switch over to Noita. Not control tonight. I'll probably hit control at some other point during the week, but yeah, I want to play Noita tonight. It's a 2020 pseudo roguelike in which every pixel might kill you, and there is audience participation. So if anybody out there is interested, come and see one of these Noita streams at some point, and you will be able to affect what is happening in-game. So I find that a rather exciting, if not terrifying, prospect. Alright, so we're going to load back up into StrimWorld. And tonight we're going to clean up some of the planets and work on the event that's been going on. So every Earth Day, SES sends up a call to everybody to, am I good? Yeah. Puts out a call to everybody to clean up their planets. So there is a randomized bunch of junk that is tossed around all over, and the idea is to just clean up as best you can. I would like to... I need packagers, and I need titanium. So I want to build at least 2 of the medium silos. Ah, that needs 2. Right, okay. Alright, well I can build 1. I have another one. Titanium. No, maybe not. Might just be able to get the 1 then. Yep. Alright, so we can make 2, after all. And we'll pick up these packagers. 1 of them anyway. And we're going to go out into the world on Silva and go see if we can't find some more trash that's just laying around and stack it up on our giant, I think this is a large, right? Stack it up on our large thing. What is this? Rover. There we go. Stack it on the large rover. Yeah, it's large. Alright. These up. And start sticking on some packagers. I'm just going to actually put them in place because we can do that. I have room. What? Oh, I've already got those. Right. Okay. Good enough. So we will keep the wide and drum mod on. Keep a wind turbine with us, and a battery pack, and 2 small canisters. Probably don't need the oxygen tank, given that we're going to be walking around with the rover all the time anyway. Alright, and then we're going to make these not charged anymore. The other thing that we should do before we leave is to grab so many that as probably going to be able to use that. As a piece of debris to be able to make something good here. Let's see, we've got one solar and we've got one wind now. So that's probably good enough. I also want to put on here. One solar for myself. So we get one of each energy type. I probably won't need it. It's going to be ridiculous, but oh, to just bring RPG. Alright, we don't need this other stuff. We have an RTG. It's fine. You. Alright, cable management. You watch yourself. And we'll take this off of here. Put it on there. And again, put the RTG over there. In fact, we probably don't even need the battery pack because of the RTG. Hope I'm not wrong, but I guess we'll find out. Alright, so storage of A's. Okay. So let's just double check here that we're going to get come on, what's the other thing I need? Yep, totally. EXO Dynamic Request Platform. Now we need the medium. Yeah, we got the request platform. Next question, where is it? Is it here? 2 resin, 1 ceramic. I think it's on the other planet. Did I already make one? I'm pretty sure I did. Either way, 2 resin, 1 ceramic is not going to be hard to come by around here. I don't actually have, that's tungsten. I don't think I have any ceramic left over, but I do have oxygenator. I do have one of these babies here. Hook up the soil centrifuge and get some clay. So we don't have enough as it stands, but we can go down and grab some resources. And with us having a wide mod attached, it should fill up very quickly. Cool. Farm that while we're here. There we go. Okay. So now we can fill this up. Really? And then while that's working, I can do some base management. No. Toss the lithium over here in the corner. Copper, hematite. Hematite can go on the smelter because of course. Take that off here, put that back on here. thing we might be able to do is carry a trailer behind us. It would actually be another, yet another rover, and just make a train and then put the exodynamic platform on that. So, I think I've done that before, but then I don't remember what the requirements are for large buggy, or a large rover. I'm pretty sure I'm out of whatever I needed. 2 rubber and 2 aluminum alloy. That's rubber. Oops. Organic and resin. Okay, so that's easy enough. And then aluminum alloy is copper and aluminum, which is also easy enough. So 2 each of those. Pretty sure I only have 1 copper laying around. Be nice if you could sub in some stuff. But, oh. 2 copper. 2 aluminum. Oh, right. That's the wrong thing. Alright, so aluminum alloy, we got 2 here. Huh. What's going on? That's weird. Couldn't even activate it. It's sitting right in my inventory. I don't understand. Looks cool. And then resin and organic. So I got organic. Pretty sure I've cleared organic for like a kilometer. Oh, there's 1 rubber just right there. Brand new. Okay. Alright. So it's going to probably be faster just to get some organic out of the soil. Or out of, oh no, there's a whole patch over there. Okay. So come over this way. So we've got a whole bunch of organic. Whoa. Alright, there we go. And then resin, I think maybe we do need to actually get some out of the soil, because there's not a whole lot going on. There's one reason. Apparently the O2 line is so fragile that like even the merest bump will just knock it loose, but it's really weird. I was pretty sure I was mining off the ceiling, not the floor, but you know, whatever. That works too. Alright, now that we're here. There we go. Nope. got that stuff, we can make a... Already got a second aluminum alloy. We need a second rubber. Why is this not lit up over here? This is when I need new... This is when I need people to talk about stuff and be like, no, this is weird. But I have it on my person, so, like, it used to just take it off of me. Weird. That there, put that there. Alright. Build. And away we go. While this is going, and hook up our battery. And we're already, yeah, it's already basically overcharged, and it's going that fast, so. Woo! Okay. Alright. So our exodynamic platform is going to need these things. We need packagers to be able to package them up. So I'm going to need graphite. For a decent amount of graphite, we can either... actually, I might want that oxygen pack. Go into the center of the planet and go hunting around for graphite down there, or I can go to the mountains and maybe take some bets on whether or not I'm going to be able to find any. Draining most of those batteries too. Okay. Good times. Alright. Got anybody in tonight? Nope. Well, Friday night's a popular night for streaming, so for anybody who does come eventually, cheers. Those of you who are watching video on demand, thank you so much for coming. That is one of the major places that I get views for my channel, both with the math content and with my streaming content, or gaming content. Right, I'm not picking that up. Okay. Not the most smart idea, but it's fine. Alright, so... can pop this up top. Open it. We're going to put this... I don't think... Oh no, yeah, okay. So we're going to call down the rocket. It will land on this in just a moment. And then we want to pack up. I came through the planet the wrong way. Awesome. Alright, so we're going to take this junk and place it up here. I hope this is going to be worth something. Yep. Alright, 100. So, not a whole lot. We also have Each launch of this rocket costs 500 bytes. We currently have 15,000 bytes, so I'm not too worried about it. That is a good 30 launches of the rocket, so we're going to have plenty of ability to get to the top level here palette, the going green palette. I still have 30 days to finish this, so we're doing okay. Those of you who are new to all of this stuff, do not send this out until you have an actual, like, full rocket. You don't want to do that to yourself. And actually, does this also fit? Oh, it does. That's right. I forgot just how spacious these things were. It's great. Alright, so let's take off all 24 of these too. Let's go faster this way. Problem is I can't quite see the cursor. That just might be me, but and sometimes it's going on to my secondary screen, which is a problem I've been having occasionally. Alright, so absolute absurdity, that is pile O. Whatever this is. Pile O generators here. Okay, I think it would actually be better if I take the RTG over on this side and put the... You know what, that's probably blocked, doesn't it? Yeah, there's two of them. The RTG's over here. Take this on... Put it on that side. Now everything's a little more spread out. So one of the problems with putting all of, like putting both, if you put more than two, if you put two silos next to each other, is that a lot of their stuff starts overlapping, and it gets really hard to actually grab it or place it. So it's okay, but this is going to make it a bit easier. We'll take a couple of batteries just in case, but again, I don't think we're going to need anything for power management. Not really. So we've already got, like I said, okay, we've got 2 solars. We've got 1, maybe 2 winds. That'll be the second one. So yeah, power management's doing okay. We'll make it. Yeah, okay. So, 2 RTGs, 2 wind, 2 solar, and 4 silos that we're going to fill up, and our EXO request module platform. Okay. And add a second one there. What am I doing with this? I don't have it yet. Where's the other packager? There we go. So I'll take our second packager and get this spent thruster. Much to my shame, actually spent a thruster. Alright, and then we're going to take these. Oh, titanium. We're going to stick a work light on the front, because why not? Okay, I don't think we need anything else. We could always end up putting like a drill mod on this, or canisters to collect soil and or other goods. I don't really see the need for it right now, at least, because most of the time, again, nope. really? There we go. What I'm trying to do right now is just to grab a bunch of the... Really, man? Alright. Let's be a little more clear about what I want. So all I'm really doing right now is going out, using packagers to collect debris, and package up that debris, and then the EXO request platform to launch it off. And at some point I'm going to rinse and repeat, so I will start collecting graphite for anywhere that I can find it, to make more packagers, and then be able to stay out a bit longer. And that's one of the things about like playing the main story quest of this. I didn't actually need quite this many packagers, but when you're out and you're unsure, especially like I am, you tend to over create things and make things just because you think you might need it, so why not? Realign this. Alright. See if we can hook up the train. Hey. First try. Alright, let's put that back where it belongs. Alright, so now we need to go out, find some graphite, and find some debris that's just laying around. I'm going to back off the camera a bit here, because that's just going to get crazy otherwise. Alright, there was some graphite up in the mountains. I think I mined most of it, so I will skip that particular deposit. Got some resin here. Nothing particularly helpful. Debris. So, the large bits are going to be the more interesting pieces, so I will just look at the taking the pod itself and leaving all the little stuff. Okay, it itself is rather small. Oh well. Right, we don't really need any of that, and we can always use some more research, no matter what. Alright, we'll stick these up here. Never know when you might need extra power for no reason whatsoever. I don't see anything in particular. Let's go by the mountain and see if there's any graphite just sticking around. And if not, we will... Oh, got some more debris here. I'll take this. Medium storage. Medium platform. One of those. I know the names of them. It's just, I'll get it eventually. Only been playing this game for like, what, 5 years? It's fine. There's some good debris over there. Or, actually, there might not be anything useful that I can package on it. But, we'll take a look, nonetheless. Alright, there's a lot of seeing any. Alright. Okay, so we got a solar and a battery, which are always nice to see. Just stick the solar on the front here and get the battery popped up top. And, you know, worst case scenario, that will start feeding off of the power cells, and the power cells will cease to take up that space. So, it's not like it really matters anyway. Oops. And I have, like I said, plenty of bytes, so I'm not going to be too stingy about what I package up. I'm not going to take the small, tiny debris stuff. Oh, I should have used a shredder. Could have used a shredder to pull debris, scrap. There we go. And then you can also send scrap up with this. It is not worth very much, but it is something. Alright, and you know something is packageable when the packager turns green when you place it down on the object. Alright, so now we'll come around here and see what's inside. So we have a seat and aluminum and copper and ceramic. Okay, 3. I was not expecting 3 places. Alright, and we don't have anything else in here, so we can just walk right out the other side. It's not particularly useful for me right now, so I don't think any of this can be packaged, but you know, here's worth a shot. No. Hey, Berrytron. Oh, thank you very much. Let me check settings real quick. Okay, no, that's fine. I always get a little nervous because I'm like, you know, gonna blast everybody's ears or something, and I can hear myself, but that's about it. I hit the wrong one. That's not what I want. Okay, test that. How's that doing? Okay, let's throw it all the way up to 100 then. How's that doing? Alternatively, I can also move it a bit closer, so that might... So we're now at 100 and moved a bit closer. How we doing? If it's just then I can still work on that on the software. No, I have a software boost. Hang on. So how you doing? Hope the weekend that's just starting is treating you well. Can check. Woo! You know, things are going pretty well. Got through the week and correcting papers and all that. It's always good. Yeah, thank you. All right, thanks for helping me do a sound check. That's useful. So yeah, my students are, you know, hanging in there. The ones who are motivated are doing real well. Um, but yeah, this whole pandemic thing is really just screwing with a lot of people's plans. I mean, obviously, but um, a lot of the students are just kind of getting in the funk, I think. I want to drive off a cliff here. Aw. Aw. That's not good. I need Rykor in here. Do that, he loves his truck simulator. So, can back up his 18-wheeler on a dime. Alright, it's not like I need it, but it is helpful to have the network up and running. So we'll see how we're doing here. Oh yeah. That's not even draining off of batteries, so that's good stuff. Come on, wind. Yeah, we got it. Alright, so we're on the network. Yeah. My daughter is 8, and they've been doing kind of a staged comeback with, you know, kids coming back for 2 days a week if they need it. And she has just been like, she had a, oh yes, got graphite. She was like a, you know, B student, A student in previous semesters in math, and like A in everything else, and now she's still A, B in everything else, and then like didn't even bother with half of her math stuff. Her teacher's like, yeah, this is not particularly good. So we were just like, look, do you think it's gonna help? And she's like, I think it would help if I went back for, you know, 2 days a week, especially for math. I mean, she's like 8.5 and having essentially this senioritis existential crisis. Like, okay. Do you want to go back? Yeah. Okay. So today was her second day, and you know, of her first week. Um, or she's going back twice a week, so it's gonna be like Thursday, Friday, and she she came back yesterday and was just like, I had such an awesome time. And we're like, oh, okay. There's my girl. So everybody's masked. All the teachers are thankfully. My my spouse basically made it her part-time job to like start pinging the teachers with where they could go for vaccines and when, and then they would sign up for it. Like a bunch of the parents did this, not just her, but um, yeah, she like pinged the teachers with, hey, you can get like this appointment time, and she would sign up for it herself, and then um, like transfer it over to that person when they said yes, I will take that appointment time. So I was meanwhile sitting here doing my doing my work, being like, I want to get in on that. That's awesome. But I had to do actual like correcting papers and yeah, it's well, we're in the Mid-Atlantic, so like there's not a whole lot of at least in our area, there's not a whole lot of science denial or anti-vax stuff like that. Everybody was like, yo, sign me up as soon as it comes out. And some of the benefit or some of the reasoning for that was because like all of the people who live around here pretty much either work for one of the governments or like work for a university or mm. I don't know whether I should say congratulations or I'm sorry. I shouldn't rag on it too much. Yeah. So I ended up getting mine. My spouse got hers through work, and then um, I ended up going to uh, like some website where it was just, here's where you can sign up for stuff, and then I mean, that's the problem lately, you know? Especially with He Who Shall Not Be Named. Except perhaps in a court of law someday. So... So yeah, she went onto a couple of websites and was like, you can, well, I mean, because she was doing this for the teachers, she was also like, so do you want one? I'm like, yes. So we ended up signing me up for one very quickly. So I got mine, like, I got my first dose the week, or 2 weeks after she got hers, and then the second doses were a week apart because hers was Moderna and mine was Pfizer. So it staggered nicely when we were having like the, potential side effect weekends or whatever. Um, Nothing happened. Everything was perfectly fine, and I'm very grateful for that. But yeah, like her second shot for Moderna, she was just like kind of laid out on the couch for a while. Didn't really want to do a whole lot, just kind of tired. But yeah, Pfizer, I was like, my arm hurts. Oh, yeah, Yeah. Yeah, people not wearing masks is a bit of a peeve of mine. You know, someday maybe we can get back to like not wearing masks around other people, but quite frankly, like, I've always had some like respiratory crap going on, and apart from my allergies, this is the healthiest I've ever been because I'm wearing a mask around other people all the time. And so I'm just kind of thinking to myself like, do I want to just wear a mask like all the time and just not care about what other people think? Because yeah, might be up for it. Yeah, I didn't have it too bad. It was slightly annoying. I'd say was about as bad as it got for me. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, we're probably not going to learn anything from this, because why would we? Um, we're Americans. We never learn anything. I of course mean as a society, but still. But yeah, we as soon as I'm starting to get a sniffle, I'm definitely masking up from now on. This is yeah, and I mean we're sandwiched between a few, so we got people from both sides coming on over and hanging out with people in our town and next few places over. So yeah, we've got all sorts of intermixing. It's great. So we were very much against like sending our daughter back to school unless she absolutely wanted or needed it, and it turns out she absolutely needed it. Um, and you know, it's it's been a good couple of days at least. Um, our school in particular hasn't had or has like had one case in the past 2 months or whatever since they opened, and they're not doing a full open. I mean, it's just yeah. Yeah, so I'm actually from New Hampshire and with easy access to Boston. And my dad worked down in the city, and it was always so great just to like go down there occasionally and um, hang out with people and have have like a city to go to that wasn't too far away, but at the same time we were living in rural rural New Hampshire, so it was pretty far removed from most of the like bad stuff that you think about when you think of cities. It's not like it was really bad anyway. Yeah, my spouse and I both went to New Hampshire for our undergrad, so it was a good experience. Both really liked the programs we were in. It's not like the best reputation or anything like that, and unfortunately, while we were there, it was number 7 party school in the nation, uh, which was yeah totally something we were into. Yep, the math nerds. Oh no, I have regrets. clear cutting. Yeah, the other thing we like about the Northeast is the seasons. So, you know, as far as like Boston is concerned, or somewhere in the Northeast, like that far Northeast, you usually have the old saying goes that there are 4 seasons: almost winter, winter, still winter, and construction. And it seems like every place has that exact same joke, so, you know, I won't feel bad if you have heard it before. So, I mean, where we're from, it varies in temperature from, you know, I'd say during the summer, um, most days have highs in like the upper 70s to 80s. Lately, it's been creeping up into the 90s more often, and hundreds were like once a summer when I was growing up, and you know, now I'm thinking it's a bit more prevalent, what with climate change starting to screw everything over. All right, we don't really need it. Yeah. So I mean, you know, high 70s, of course, for the highs, but that was an actual occasional thing, and it was very much appreciated when it did happen. But then we'd always get, you know, those random days where it crept up into the 90s and hundreds for all day or the entire week. And I used to work at a summer camp, and that was murder. We'd be sitting up on our I was a ropes course director, so we'd, you know, make sure, okay, guys, like 3 times during the day, we need to go put on sunscreen. You need to make sure you need to make sure your water bottles are like no less than this high the entire day. So just constantly drinking water, rappelling down, filling it back up, and then climbing back up to the top of the tower. Just like, oh. Yeah, it really depends on when. I mean, of course, right? But so like in the winter, most of the time it stayed around a comfortable 30 to 28, 29 degrees. And I mean comfortable as in like you know, the wind isn't really like whipping really hard. It's nice and calm, all that. And occasionally you get blizzards where it gets into, you know, really low temps. Um, uh, like it's just awful to be outside. But you know, on those days, you start up your wood stove because, of course, you have a wood stove, um, and you just make it. Is this not doable? I don't know. Maybe it's not. I've never actually tried one of these. I don't think. Seems like no. Okay. That's too bad. But yeah, like all over, we get kind of the same thing going on, where it's like, we kind of get the same thing going on where, and this is true even in Mid-Atlantic, which is kind of crazy. Like there are certain times during the week where, or during, yeah, week, during the winter where it gets down to like crazy temperatures, crazy low temperatures, and the wind is awful. Like it's, you know, 20 miles an hour sustained gusts, and so the wind chill factor is well below zero. Um, like even even if the temperature is not even that low. It's just awful. So occasionally you get that, but it's usually only for like a week at a time at most, and then it makes it a little bit better. I've found that in Mid-Atlantic it's actually slightly worse in terms of that, because you get a lot of in the Northeast you get a lot more snow, and so everything is kind of insulated. And in Mid-Atlantic you get a lot less snow. It mostly just is like sleet and water, and then it freezes. So it's now ice instead of like snow. And then um, yeah, and then it just gets into uh, crazy temperatures, and the wind's blowing really hard, and you just don't want to go outside. I will encourage you someday. Head on up to the Northeast there. Yeah, I mean, Boston's pretty expensive, but you'll get that almost anywhere around cities, especially in, on and on both of the seaboards. I mean, and having a lot of, friends and acquaintances who are out in California, I have definitely no right to complain about housing prices in Mid-Atlantic, because, yep, we've got some crazy, stupid houses here that are in the upper eights and into the millions of dollars and stuff like that, but it's not like almost every house. It's like these are just the stupid big ones. Okay, good to know. That does work on the fly. Yeah. Mm-mm. Yeah, I'm in education, so I'm leaning pretty heavily on my spouse to do the job of making money. Um, Figured someday I might have like a textbook to write or something like that, but eh. You know librarian Liz at all? I've got a couple of close friends who are also librarians around here. Yeah. Um, yeah, she's a fun streamer. She's into TTRPG, and she's been on she mods a lot of TTRPG places, especially around queue times. And she's been streaming a it's insane. So one of the cast members of a superhero RPG. Oh, now I'm gonna forget it. Oh, I'm such a jackass. All right. Hang on. Power Play. There we go. So, Power Play RPG is done by Rick Budd, who is a writer for many, many other things. And like Sam Delev, who is from the Stream Punks, and a whole bunch of other people on this cast who are really awesome people. You should go look it up. It's pretty great. Um, do this game called Power Play RPG, and they play superheroes, and they all know that they have superpowers, but they don't know that anybody else has superpowers until the game starts kicking off. So Rick, or no, that's awful. Come on. It's only been like 2 weeks since I watched this last, and I'm just having this massive brain fart about their names. Ooh. Why am I having such a hard time with this? Anyway, oh, power play. There we go. That helps. Yeah, Caitlin Bruder. Omar Najam. There we go. All right, sorry. So, Omar Najam is playing a writer. He is himself a writer. He is also playing a writer on the show who did like sort of a Hardy Boys-ish sort of thing in universe. And he decided that he was going to write the book that his character had written. And over the past, as of whenever he released it, that was chapter 8 was a month ago. So every single week for a 2-month stretch, he wrote a chapter of the book and released it onto the Discord. And he just kept writing this book, and we're just like, Omar, oh my god, man. Like, how are you writing this sequentially, first of all? Second of all, it's really good. Like, it could actually probably be published. And, it's sort of a, like I said, sort of Hardy Boys-esque thing. I saw something through the woods. No? That was weird. Okay, maybe it was just leaves. So yeah, he wrote the entire book over a, like, 2-month period. Yep, YouTube and also on Twitch, so both places. But yeah, Q Times has been bankrolling a whole bunch of really cool, like, experimental stuff because they just don't care. They know that they're, not going to be making a huge amount of money, unlike some other multinational conglomerates that may have taken over the former home of some of these Q Times people. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Totally don't know what you're talking about. So yeah, he wrote this thing, and I've been trying to. I haven't been reading it anyway. Librarian Liz, my point of bringing this up in the first place, decided that she was going to read it, like the chapter that came out. She was going to read it on her stream on Saturday, and then the next one would come out on like Thursday, Friday the next week. So everybody, gathered around for story time for Liz. It was great. And I don't know if she had a specialty in terms of like library science in education, or if it was like library science out around the world, or like specific age group or anything like that. Yeah, of course, I don't know if you all have certification agencies for education or whatever. I am completely ignorant of how all that works on the library side. some more pieces here. I think we might be out of graphite, though. Or very nearly. Yeah, laterite. Okay. Yeah. Soul Reaver. Yep, he actually referred me to the homework help Discord, and he was like, you know, if you're interested, there's a bunch of people here who might be looking for help. And I started going there, and like, it's so great. There's so many people who are just, oh, okay. Well, that's cool. Thank you, and thank your friend for referring you over. Yeah, I think I might kind of be cornering the market on like academic math education, because like almost every stream that I've seen has been math help, math tutoring, and it's kind of like, well, okay, but you know, I'm getting you through this problem is kind of a stopgap, but let's try to get people to like learn more about it. So I don't know. I'm trying to go that direction, but at the same time, like audience is kind of inconsistent. So yeah. Yeah. I got a DM from somebody that asked for that. I was just like, you have literally contacted the one teacher out of this entire place. Like, not sure that was the best idea. Yeah, and I mean that's the point, right? Is like anytime that you have something even somewhat unique to say, that's going to be your thing. It's going to be kind of your specialty to get in there, your foot in the door, to try and get that perspective out. And you know, I love the idea. Um, in practice, I don't know how it's going to work, but you know, eventually people might be. I mean, it's always going to be slightly slow moving, um, but yeah, like the that homework help place, like I'm definitely not advertising there. Um, A, just poor taste, and B, like I would get so kicked out. And they say right on it, like don't advertise, but you know, I'll DM the people in charge and be like, if anybody's interested, here's the thing. But yeah, definitely not broadcasting to a general audience. Mm. Yeah, and that's one of the other things that I've been doing, especially like it's kind of a little weird. So I've made connections with a few small people, but at the same time, like I mean, Soul Reaver is like the one person that I really have contacted in terms of that. And I've got a few because of the gaming thing, right? I've got a couple of people who mostly are also Astroneer streamers, and so you know we'll stream or we'll rate each other on Astroneer especially because you know you want your audience to kind of have a consistent flow, or you know, a game that's sort of similar, or a streamer that maybe has sort of a similar thing to it. Like going from here to uh, who's its Elite Dangerous might be a little bit like, might not work too well. But oh, nice. I got a free platform B. Cool. I thought it was just debris. Alright, here's another one that's not quite done up yet, so we'll go over here. Yeah, I definitely made the right choice taking the first 10-20 minutes of stream and making this secondary tractor here. Or, oh no, oh no. I'm going to come out the right side. There we go. I definitely made the right choice because it's going to be very convenient having the rocket actually attached. Let's fill that in just so that I don't fall over. Yeah, I really like it. I've been playing this since open beta. And one of my friends who is an engineer, civil, I think, was like, "You have got to play this." And like, he's much more into, you know, actually building stuff than I am. Um, shocker. But so I started playing it with him, and I very quickly realized that this is a social game above anything else. Like, you can play it alone, and it's fun when you play it alone. But if you're playing with other people, it is a greater than, you know, the whole is greater than the sum of its parts when you start playing with other people, because there's just like, you can do all sorts of ridiculous stuff that, you know, you have those moments in game where you just start laughing your ass off because, like, what just happened, right? Like, you just you accidentally launch yourself into space, and everybody's like, what was that? You know, there are some weird, interesting little bugs like that occasionally. Most of those have been taken out of the game. All right, we got it. And especially if you start playing with people who don't know everything about the game. So, like, if you played with me, I would probably go at it like a teacher. Where I'd be like, "So, what do you want me to do?" I'll go gather some resources while you decide what to do with base. Because, damn it, I cannot leave that mantle at home. So that's the thing, is that it really turns out to be not so much about destroying the planet for resources. This is above all else. And I mean, even like Minecraft has this aspect to it, but I almost never seem to get there. I always end up getting bored like 20 minutes into the game, and I sort of actually have the same problem with Astroneer occasionally, is that I go about 20-30 minutes in and I'm just like, like, I want the fun stuff now. Which you can do if you just do uh, creative mode, right? And you can do that in any way that you want. But I feel like I still get that feeling like, oh, I want to, you know, earn it or whatever. But whatever, who cares? I don't know why I do that to myself. It's just like this weird self-flagellation thing. Um, but yeah, I'm always just like, oh man, I wanna get like 40, 50 minutes into the game where I've got like a somewhat established base. So you can always do that now with Astroneer, because you can hop into creative mode, place down what you want to place down, and then go off and do whatever you feel like. I wanted to kind of explore this on stream and start talking about like what are the different aspects of this game that you can do. So, once you have an established base and you start getting through like the plot, basically, then you've got all these little exploration things to do. And you could, like, I could have done that from the start. I could have started all the way at the beginning and said, let me find the solar platform. So there's this nice solar platform here, which gives a tremendous charge. Looking at this, right? So I could, like, now that I have an established base halfway across the planet, I could actually make a new base here that's, like, attached to this thing, and that is my power source. And there's also all sorts of, like, really cool quirks that you can find in the game. So, I can't remember if you were here when we did this. Probably not, but or if you've watched it in the meantime, who knows? But there's this thing called core sliding that my mentor slash friend Captain Space Toaster got into. If you're interested in watching like speedruns, Captain Space Toaster is one of my favorites. It is kind of spoilery, so fair warning on that. But if you don't care or whatever, he's a great person to watch to like see the kinds of quirky things that we and I do somewhat include myself in that have introduced into speedruns over the last 4 years, I guess. I've only been doing speedrunning for probably 2 years, and this was the first game that I started doing it on. But so he developed this thing called core sliding, where you get a drill mod and a wide mod. You start digging down at a fairly steep slope. And flatten out the area you want to use. And since I have an RTG attached to my person, I'm going to have quite a bit of power for this. So you want to, generally speaking, if you don't have like, if you don't have an RTG, which is most of the game, you would hook on a generator to your backpack and turn it on, and then you just dig down. So the way that you dig in this is I'm going to get a kind of running start and then start sliding down the slope because it's steep enough and flat enough. Then I'm going to keep my terrain tool ahead of me, hold the control key, which will flatten the area in front where I am keeping my cursor. So I keep it about 20 feet roughly in front of me, and with a wide mod, it makes sure that the hole that's dug is bored large enough that I can just slide all the way through. So this was like a major find when somebody finally, Captain Space Toaster finally figured this out. So we get a slide here, go a little bit in front. No. Okay, there we go. And I'm not quite as good at it, but you try to get it before you stop sliding. Yeah, I'm hitting a bunch of stuff here. This is not perfect either. But anyway, so yeah, I dug like 100, 150, 200 feet maybe in seconds. If you get a clear path, you can make the entire slide probably down into 2 or 3 cavern layers below in 30 seconds. You might be able to make it to the center of the planet in 40 to 60. Yeah, I mean, it takes a while to get used to it. But yeah, once you get used to it and start like, okay, I'm going to do it now. If you watch any of my previous streams, I was like, okay, I'm like tentative, trying to, I don't know. But then like by the third planet, I'm like, okay, I got it now. always just so nervous. I don't know why. It's like, you know, I don't want to commit to doing something that's going to screw up real bad. But it's stupid. I mean, it's just a game, so gotta get over it. Okay, so I don't have anything else here. I do have that chair I can pick up. Do I just have the one? Oh no, I got a whole other side over here. No, okay. So I can get one more medium or two smalls. Let's see. Oh, and they added a permanent compass, which is great. So now we can actually see where we are in the grand scheme of things. Like the home base is over here to this side, so sort of southeast-ish. We got a gate over here to our west, and we have an activated gate here to the northwest, which, you know, you can see that right over the horizon. So I don't need to activate any of these gates or anything like that, but it is kind of helpful to just, like I said before, just have it like on the network, so you can excuse me, so you can teleport between them. So once you power the gateways, you can teleport between any two gateways on the same planet. Or you can get distracted over here. Or you can jump to an alternate location. And that alternate location doesn't work until you actually activate it and all that stuff. But, you know, less important. Details. Yeah, straight down that way, huh? I'm also going to say, you really... Yeah, the soundtrack, I love it. You really should watch, but after you've, like, really gotten into the game, and probably after you've beaten it, because, you know, spoilers and stuff, there's a really great documentary. I don't know if you've seen his other stuff, but by No Clip. And it's, like, my three favorite documentaries that he has ever done have been Astroneer, Outer Wilds, which another one, brilliant. If you have access to Game Pass, these games are all on there. I do recommend controller for Outer Wilds, and I do recommend mouse and keyboard for Astroneer, but it's doable if you're really good with a controller. Oh, Microsoft Flight Simulator, the newest one. Yes, it is so great. It's kind of one of those that's like, once you play it, you get the secret and that's it. But at the same time, like, I've gone back and played it a couple of times. While I've forgotten some of the, like, more nuanced things, yes, I remember all of the major details about it. I remember some fun little things that cropped up here and there, but, you know, it's still, like, it's still great, just as a whole game. That's one of the other things about the game is, like, you know, your character may not have certain knowledge about stuff, but definitely the player has the knowledge about the stuff, and it doesn't quite spoil the game, but I mean, you know, it depends on what your goals are, really. If you're there just to have fun and kick around a beautiful solar system and maybe find some more secrets that you didn't even know were there, then yeah, it doesn't matter how many times you play it, you're always going to find something new. get rid of this crap. Why do I not have this in here? Oh, okay. So it demands that you need to, if you have your blueprint in your backpack down here, normally you can just print directly from this. But I tried to pick up graphite and it did not print, or it did not collect directly into the blueprint. It makes you get it into your backpack and then put it into the blueprint. That's a shame. Yeah, so there are aspects of the game that just about anybody can enjoy, and that's what I really liked. First and foremost, it is an exploration game, um, but not like exploration like this, where, I mean, maybe somewhat, but not entirely. Like I will just give you the first like 2 minutes basically. You spawn in a town, and they're like, "Hey, you're you're going up on your first voyage into space. Good luck." And then you go to the guy who's got the keys to the keys to the launcher, and he's like, "Okay, well, what do you want to do?" And you've got a list of things, and you don't have to abide by it. It's just, here's some suggestions about things that you can go explore. I want to go meet the guys who went up there before. I want to go see what's going on. I want to go to the moon because that's like the nearest body. So, I want to stick close. I want to go way out there. Go explore something that nobody's ever explored before, that sort of thing. And it's like basically a personality test. But again, you don't have to abide by it. It's not like it doesn't even give you like a mission. It just says, go. So then when you go up into space, you can go anywhere you want. I think on my first launch, I was so intrigued by like just the home planet that I went and did a lap around the whole planet and like found stuff on the planet before I went anywhere. It was like, oh, well, there's stuff here. This is really cool. And then go hop planet to planet. And then when you get somewhere, it's like, here's a bit of information that you just found out. And you get this um, uh, you get your ship's log, which is all of the cool pieces of information that you found. And some of them are like, here's a mystery. I don't understand that. And so it gives you a little nudge in that direction. But again, you don't have to do it. You can just leave it for the rest of the time that you're playing the game. It's just so great. The way that they've done it is beautiful, and the way that they set it up is awesome. There is one insane bit of programming, which I didn't find out about this until I watched the No Clip documentary. I don't know if you want me to clue you in on it. It's not spoilery, but it's just like, what? So if you know anything about programming, it will break you. But okay, so I won't tell you. It's not spoilers, but um, like I said, I didn't find out about it until I watched the documentary because it's something about the programming that's behind the scenes. All I'm gonna say, and again, you can watch the documentary later after you play it. Um, yeah, it is a little bit wonky, but once you get used to it, it's kind of intuitive. Like I said, I preferred playing it on controller. Um, so the your left stick is your lateral thrusters, and your right stick is your attitude, and then your right trigger is up, and left trigger is down. So understanding that, and here's the genius thing about it: they do something at the beginning of the game where they have you on like a railroaded path, right? You have to go and get the launch codes from somebody. So you have to go up to the observatory. There's no other way to go. But while you're going down to the observatory, there's nice little signs to tell you where to go. While you're going, there's other places that you can explore just around your town. Yeah, I much prefer controller for Outer Wilds. I tried doing mouse and keyboard, but I had first played the game and actually I 100%ed it on on Xbox on the controller, and so I tried playing it for like 2 minutes on mouse and keyboard, and I'm like, nope, nope. Like obviously the first person stuff as you're walking around is fine, but as soon as I got into the as soon as I got into the as soon as I got into the ship, I'm just like, nope, 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 nope. So anyway, the awesome, insane thing that they did, um, it's not insane. The awesome thing that they did, it was genius. What they decided to do was on your way down in the first area of the game, you look over and there's a kid there, and so you're like, all right, cool. And you have a conversation, and then right next to the kid is a little model, and then you can grab the controller, you can grab the controls of the model, and it flies the model of your ship. And it is 100% a genius tutorial. I didn't even notice that I was doing it when, the first time I played it. I didn't even notice that they were giving me a tutorial on how to fly the ship. And then you hop into your ship and you're like, hey, I know how to fly. Like, oh, right. That makes complete sense. uh, it was just such a genius moment. So the developers of this game knew exactly what they were doing with this. um, yeah. So the one like non-spoilery thing that I'm gonna withhold from you again, it's from the documentary, is their choice of coordinate systems. So I'm going to encourage you when you've sufficiently finished like as much as you've thought you want to finish for the game, go watch the documentary. It might also prod you in a different direction to be like, oh, I want to go explore that now. But yeah, listen for their explanation of how they chose their coordinate system. It is insane. And like I said, if you know anything about like doing coordinate systems or doing programming of any kind, it's just completely going to break you. It's completely insane. Why did they do that? I have no idea. I started trying to learn. I started trying to learn tensor calculus recently, and that was all about like deciding to do mathematics in a system in a framework which has no coordinate system, and so it just does math. And it's weird. It's almost like a step backwards in terms of what you think of as like algebra, because generally speaking, algebra starts using um, the coordinate systems, thanks to Rene Descartes, Cartesian coordinate systems, or other people started using the polar coordinate systems, and they could do, vectors and stuff like that. So this tensor calculus stuff was like, you can just do all of this math without any sort of coordinates whatsoever. And that's fine. Like, it works. It's perfect. And I'm just like, I I think maybe I'm too much of like an algebraist or geometer or something, where it's like maybe it's just a security blanket, I guess. I don't know. feel like I need my coordinate systems. But I feel like the company there could have probably done without the ridiculous coordinate system if somebody in there knew tensor calc. I'm guessing they probably didn't, no offense to them. Alright, one sec. Okay. We're getting close. Alright, so we get 1,000 off of that one. And we're jumping up to... Alright, guess it's not going to tell me yet. So we're probably around 6,800, 7,000, give or take. I hope. Another small run like that, and we'll have enough for the top tier. Actually, that's an interesting point. I didn't actually notice. Do we get stuff? Should be now. Yeah, there we go. Another RTG. Woohoo! And small battery. And I'm definitely going to have enough. Yep, okay, so I got 560 bytes left here. Were they math intensive? Is that how you were able to skirt that one? So I know my undergrad had something like that, where you could take like a take a course which was heavy enough in math that the requirement was satisfied. And obviously I didn't take that route, but I was originally a physics major. And I was like, I really like reading about physics, but I'm not sure about... Oh man, come on. Where am I? There we go. I really enjoy reading about physics, but I don't know about majoring in it and having to do the scary problems. My biggest problem out of all of it was that thermodynamics was going to be my next set of classes. And the class had a 39% pass rate. I'm like, ooh, astronomy. The astronomy class does not have any math despite its massive reliance on trigonometry. How did that work? Yeah, I teach a honors pre-calculus seminar, so we talk a lot about like the history of math and where it all came from. So there was a big stretch in there where we were talking about the many contributions that were made to mathematics thanks to astronomy. So you guys talk about like telescopes and how to use them and stellar classes. And oh, so astrology then. No. Huh. Yeah, I would have thought that, like, talking about what kinds of stars are out there and how they form and things like that would be kind of important. That's weird. Getting some audio distortion off of this. That was weird. Anyway. So that sounds almost like a pet class. Where the teacher was just like, I don't want to do anything. I'll teach him about constellations. I'm guessing not even the mythology behind them. Yeah. I ended up taking a myth and folklore class in my high school years. That was really great. That was English though, so it was my junior level English requirement instead of taking Brit-Lit, which, you know, maybe it was a mistake, but I really enjoyed it. And at some point, it was like we studied we studied various civilizations, and we also then created our own like creation myths based on some sort of story that we wanted to tell. I pretty much plagiarized, but perhaps similar to, but legally distinct from, um, uh, a bunch of the stuff from Final Fantasy VII. Or like used characters, used settings, etc., but at the same time changed the actual story to make it a creation myth. So I don't know if I would have gotten away with that, but yeah, it was. I admit these days, yeah, it probably was plagiarizing, but not blatantly so. If I literally changed their names and like spelled them differently, changed their personalities and stuff like that, then nobody would have known. Not even me. No, that's a lie. I would have known. Mm. Yeah, I had some good classes that centered around. It wasn't even that one. Um, my ninth grade English class, which is just Intro to English 1 or whatever, um, had like a series of stories, and at the end of the semester, we had to do like basically turn our experience in ninth grade English into some sort of just like a story. And so it was bizarre stream of consciousness. I mean, of course, because it's our final exam, so you have 2 hours to write just crap. But at the end of it, I was just like, this is so weird. It might actually work. Turns out it did. Um, but yeah, it was like I turned, because we read Dante's Inferno that year. I basically like turned my experience in ninth grade English lit into like some weird, um, some weird like slight ripoff of Dante, and then at the end it was like basically sort of an allegory of like, I think I'm at my destination, but not really, i.e. the Dr. Livingston, I presume. Like, it was me walking my way through a jungle and everything was all confusing, and then, like, I found signposts along the way that were helping me, and I don't know, it was, as a like, future scientist, I felt like I was writing complete crap. But at the same time, it sort of, that whole, like, you're in ninth grade, it feels so deep. Because you're like, you're talking about other stuff. It's metaphorical. Got another one over there. Alright. So we can go straight west from here. This is another thing, is that there are 6 gates around any given planet, or around Silva specifically. Not necessarily the rest of them. Depending on the size of the planet, there are a varying number of gateways. I'm just opening all of them, mostly because I just feel like it's something to do, and I'm finding debris like this on my way. So that's my goal for tonight, really, is just to finish the player event. So, hooray Earth Day and all that. Oops, I have too many of these already. My backpack is full, so it's just dumping everything on the ground. This is another trick, Veritron. This is a fun one. So if you have a canister on your backpack, and it has some soil in it, one of the things that you are able to do is hit the Alt key, and you notice that it has an up arrow. If I let go, it's just a down arrow. I think if I tap it, Control, no, Shift, which button is it? Z? Z. So if I tap if I tap Z, I can toggle between the modes. Actually, this would be really helpful if I were doing course lighting. So now I could completely focus on my directions and not slam into walls and stuff like that while trying to hold the control key. Anyway, so what you can do is dig using the dig tool, and then every so often, if you have the terrain tool notices that a particular... No! Save. I wasn't going to fall all the way, but the terrain tool has a little analyzer that says, like, what resources here. So I'm seeing that I have graphite. So one of the things that I can do is I can dig here, and yeah, maybe I'll find it, and it's coming up one node at a time like this. That's all well and good, but it's kind of slow. What you can do is actually tap the Alt key to add a bit of soil, and then it immediately starts digging at it again, and it pulls everything from a certain radius around it. So if I just tap, that picked up 3 nodules in that one little tap. It doesn't always work, and usually what I have to do is you have to reposition by letting go and then clicking again to make sure that you can... Again, it takes a little bit of getting used to, but it's definitely one of those tips that's totally worth it. Alright, let's stick all these on here so I have more room in my inventory. It is a slight exploit, but, like, I'm okay with that. especially since I'm not doing any particular, you know, kind of run like NMG or what have you. Yeah, and you only really need to do it when you see the target symbol that you want, so graphite in this case. But I still do it occasionally because sometimes I'm right on the cusp of one. I don't quite see it. So if I'm in an area that's already had some, it's pretty good. Generally speaking, the resource areas look kind of like clouds. So if you notice that they're like, they kind of have like a higher concentration and then they start dying out as they go out further. And most of the time, like I said, it's kind of looks sort of like a cloud if you were to see the resources themselves in the ground. There are ways to X-ray in this game, so you can actually see what is in the ground. That is considered a cheat if you are doing a no major glitches run, but right, and I don't have my shuttle with me, so I'm in a truck. Let's remember. All right, pull this off for a second. It'll fill that space, and then we can fill that back up. Here we go. Oh, right. And occasionally you run out of power, so. I know I said I would probably never run out of power because I'm holding an RTG, but the thing is that when you are draining power from your backpack, it doesn't actually take power from other stuff you're holding, nor does it replenish while you're using your power. So it's all based on a one-way valve. So you can only either use power or collect power. You can't do both at the same time. And I think that ends up being a speed issue that, like, they're SES, the System Era Softworks, people who created this did it on purpose, so you're not like overloading the system of, so you're not overloading what's going on the screen all at once. I mean, if not, they've had plenty of opportunities to correct it, so it seems like it's on purpose. Alright, so let's just send this off because we can get the last one. Woohoo! Alright, so we now have the going green palette. We now have the, stand in the light here so we can show off our new stuff. Alright, so we got a palette, which was the going green. Alright, very earth tone, very bright green on the top there. Sure, we'll just take it for a sec. We also have the wired hat. Sparky. That's fun. And let's see. What was the other one? Nope. Alright, let's see. What was the other thing we got? Oh. Okay. So there's going to be a permanent goal of 2,000 that's just going to keep going. Okay, well, I don't know. I can't remember what the first thing was now. Alright, whatever. That's cool. So we're going to hop in here and find out where is home. It's a long way, but we're going to get this. I'm going to hook up this one thing, and then I think it is getting on to 11 o'clock, so I will take a... once we get all this done, I'm going to take a, like, 5-10 minute break somewhere in there. Go cycle water, grab a new... or, yeah, grab a drink. So I have a new beer that I would like to figure out what it is. Okay, figure out how it is. I know what it is. Yeah, crash on through. Okay, cool. Oh, hit something. Alright, got one on the opposite side of this. Come on now. Alright, I might just have to get out and push, because... Alright, let's clear all this out, so we can actually get through here without getting stuck this time. Alright, and then it... oh, really? I think that this is about 80% buried. So that's going to be fun. Right. Pick up more. Well, might as well start digging down over here, I guess. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Alright, better get back before I suffocate. Yep, so, it just went all the way back down the hill. All by itself. Mostly because there was enough tension on it that it just started rolling in the opposite direction. E-brake apparently didn't work, so... yeah. My parents' station wagon always had that problem. Okay, so now We want to go through here. Okay, this is going to get us down. We can kind of spiral our way down, or just hit a big thing of rock right here. That's cool. Yeah, so spiraling. Goodness. It's really windy here. It's a fairly recent development. Alright, so there is a connector here. At least I think it's a connector. If not, I'll make it up. It's fine. Nope. Why is my icon upside down? Okay. There. I gotta get back up. Should be like right here. Oh man. Let's try not to cut myself off from the top. Yeah, okay, there we go. It's way too steep. Alright, well. Uh-oh. Well, I'm not liking this angle, but I can dig it out. Whee. Nope. gonna make the back rover fall and hopefully land right next to where it needs to be plugged in. See how that goes. This is fun. I'm sure it's perfectly as intended. Alright, the one thing I need is my light, which is not on that side of the rover, unfortunately. Alright, let's do that. 100% as intended. Alright, let's see if we can even plug this in. Yep. Meanwhile, I get launched. Alright, next question. Do I still see... Okay, there's the light. Do I also still see the solar panel? Yep. Cool. Chunk. So as it turns out, we did have plenty of graphite for all of this stuff. And we have a crap ton of packagers, so we will practically never run out. Yep. There is a way out. Just might take a while to get there. Well, this is going well. Apologies for tying the cursor to the camera there for a minute. I always hate that. Oh man, RTG is struggling to keep up. I'm gonna run it out of power. There it is. Alright. But it recovers very quickly. I will say that. Alright, and if you're ever having trouble, as long as you have your terrain tool out, you can zip very quickly to the open cockpit seat. Ugh. Can't see anything in here. Okay. There. There we go. Out in the world again. And looks like the other... Oh, I'm crossing my path. I came this way. The North Pole Gate I did not actually get either. So that'll be the next one we get. I'm going to get out of the mountains here before I call it a night on Astroneer. And then I will, like I said, take about 5-10 minute break. And then I will play Noita, which is a crazy roguelike that apparently has audience participation. So, Berrytron, good news. You get to torture me. I don't even remember like when I saw this, how I saw it. So like, it wasn't on stream. Yeah, I don't even remember where it was now. But it was like, I think I was maybe wandering on the Steam store, which was always dangerous. And there's a research kit down there. So yeah, I was wandering on the Steam store and I saw like, you know, people who like this also like, and I clicked on it. Of course, I had to, right? And it popped up with this game, which apparently has like a Finnish name, maybe? I don't know exactly, but you know, according to the sources that I saw, let's just go to the main menu, because I don't know what's behind here. I think it'll just go to black, but yeah. So the person who did it was like, or I started looking at like what the gameplay was, and it turned out that it's very much like Terraria slash ish. You know, not quite the same, but you know, the 8-bit style with low-res graphics and all that. But then like something bad happened, and the wizard cast a spell, and it just like exploded the entire place. Just was covered in fire, and I'm like, oh no. And then there's like acid and all sorts of cool stuff that can happen. And I'm like, oh, this looks hilarious. So it's unfortunately only single player. I was like, that's probably a good thing, but at the same time, like the amount of insanity that could happen if my friends and I all like had a respawn, you know, you build a respawn point or something like that and play this together and basically just nuke the entire cave. It has such potential. All right. Neither had I. It was weird. I was like, what is this? But yeah. All right. So I will be back in 5 to 10. And thank you for coming, Berrytron. I will see you in just a little bit.